So the number one vital element needed for life is oxygen, and that's not a surprise, is it? The second most vital element needed for life is water. You can go 3 minutes without oxygen. You can go a couple of weeks without water. I always thought it was 3 days without water until I read a book called The Long Walk about some people who were escaping the Siberian work camp, and they were in the desert and they went nearly 2 weeks without water. Water is the second most vital element needed for life. In fact, where there's no water, you don't usually get people living, do you? I always say to people, how much water do you drink? And these are some of the answers. I don't like water. If I drink water, my feet swell. If I drink water, I'm going to the bathroom all day. Those last two answers tell me that the water's not getting inside the cell.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill, an alternative health advocate, has made waves in the wellness community with her assertions about hydration and its critical role in overall health. She emphasizes that many people are making a common yet dangerous hydration mistake that could be slowly undermining their health. According to O'Neill, the issue lies not just in the quantity of water consumed, but in the quality and balance of electrolytes, particularly sodium and potassium, that are essential for effective hydration. In her discussions, O'Neill highlights a widespread misconception that simply drinking large amounts of water is sufficient for optimal hydration. While it is true that water is vital for life, the way the body utilizes this water is heavily influenced by the presence of electrolytes. Sodium and potassium play crucial roles in maintaining fluid balance within the body. O'Neill argues that many individuals overlook the importance of these minerals, leading to chronic dehydration and a host of health issues, including fatigue, headaches, and even more severe conditions such as kidney disease and hypertension.
So how do we get the water inside the cell? We have to go to the third most vital element needed for life, and that is sodium. The fourth most vital element needed for life is potassium. In nature, we find the highest amount of sodium in seawater, and seawater contains 92 minerals. Of those 92 minerals, approximately 30% is sodium, and of those 92 minerals, approximately 50% is chloride. Now, because sodium chloride take up the most amount, they're the first crystals formed when the water is evaporated. So what man does is he scoops up the first crystals formed, he bleaches them white, puts aluminium with it so that it runs freely, and there's your table salt. Table salt is a dangerous salt because we now have two very harsh minerals that if you were to inject both of those into the blood, you would die. There's two harsh minerals and they need all the other 90 to soften them and balance them. The highest concentration of mineral inside the cell is potassium. The highest concentration outside the cell is sodium. And in this bilayered membrane that is around every cell, there are sodium-potassium pumps. And these sodium-potassium pumps are ever going like this, maintaining the balance between potassium and sodium. But when someone's not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and that's where you get most of your potassium, and they're putting table salt on everything far too much, what happens now is sodium levels rise and potassium levels drop. There is a small amount of sodium in the cell, but when this happens, you see osmosis and diffusion happens when the highest concentration merges into the lowest. So now sodium levels inside the cell are rising, which they should not, and the cell swells. What's that called? High blood pressure. The doctor is right. Table salt will contribute to high blood pressure. There's a French doctor named Dr. Lelangre, and he's written a whole book on salt. He said, when people come to me with high blood pressure, I put them on Celtic salt. Why does he put them on Celtic salt? Because Celtic salt contains 82 minerals. It's a hand-harvested sea salt.
The modern diet, characterized by high levels of processed foods, often lacks adequate amounts of these essential minerals. O'Neill points out that many people consume refined table salt, which is stripped of its natural minerals and often contains additives like anti-kicking agents. This type of salt, she warns, can exacerbate the problem of dehydration rather than alleviate it. Instead, she advocates for the use of natural salts, such as Himalayan or Celtic salt, which contain a broader spectrum of minerals that can help restore the body's electrolyte balance. O'Neill emphasizes the importance of not only drinking water, but also enhancing it with a small amount of natural salt. This practice, she claims, allows the body to absorb and utilize the water more effectively. She recommends adding a pinch of salt to each glass of water, which may sound counterintuitive to those who have been conditioned to think that salt is harmful. However, she argues that the right kind of salt is essential for hydration and overall health.
I've had people complain to me, they say, I'm drinking more water now, and now I'm going to the bathroom all day. So I say, are you having the salt? Have a little crystal before every glass of water. And ideally, we should be having approximately 8 glasses of water a day. And then I say to them, and don't drink a whole glass at once. I think I mentioned earlier, I drink half a glass as soon as I get up. I go to the bathroom, I drink another half glass. Then I get dressed and have another half glass. But when I start every glass, I have that little bit of salt. So you spread the water over the day. And many people have said to me, thank you so much, that has made a big difference. See, huge water in, it's not long before huge water has to come out. It's like watering a plant. And look how God sends the rain, little by little by little. And when there's a tornado, when there's a torrential downpour, that's when the soil gets washed away and flooding can happen. So remember that with your body. Take it little by little by little by little. It is the best way to take it.
The relationship between sodium and potassium is particularly significant in this context. O'Neill explains that potassium is predominantly found inside cells, while sodium is more concentrated outside of them. This balance is crucial for the proper functioning of sodium-potassium pumps, which regulate fluid levels and maintain cellular health. When individuals consume excessive amounts of sodium, often through processed foods and table salt, while neglecting potassium-rich foods like fruits and vegetables, they can disrupt this delicate balance. The result can be cellular swelling, elevated blood pressure, and a range of health complications. Chronic dehydration is a silent epidemic, according to O'Neill. Many people do not realize that they are dehydrated until they experience symptoms like fatigue, dry skin, or headaches. This lack of awareness can lead to a cycle of poor health, as dehydration can impair cognitive function, mood, and physical performance. O'Neill stresses that hydration is not merely about quenching thirst. It's about ensuring that the body has the right conditions to function optimally. O'Neill's insights are particularly relevant in an age where sugary beverages and processed drinks often replace plain water. Many individuals gravitate towards soda and energy drinks, believing they are hydrating, when in fact these beverages can contribute to dehydration due to their high sugar content and lack of essential minerals. O'Neill warns that these drinks do not provide the same benefits as water and can lead to a host of health problems, including obesity and diabetes.
So sodium not only is required to get the glucose into the blood, it's also required to get the water into the cell. So it's sodium. It's the third most vital element needed for life. And you can get that information on the 4 vitals in any anatomy and physiology book, chemistry book, biology book. I'm just giving you the facts here. So as you can see, water is very important, but so is the salt. And again, the potassium is found in all your fresh fruits and vegetables. Calcium cannot get into the cell by itself. It needs vitamin D. When vitamin D is present, the calcium is pulled inside the cell. You just imagine for a moment, and this is happening in America a lot today, people are not drinking enough water. They're not having the whole salt, and they're definitely not having many greens, which is where your magnesiums is. So the little bit of water they're having is not getting inside the cell. They don't go out in the sunshine because they're scared of getting skin cancer. So they're not getting their vitamin D, so the calcium can't get in and the minerals can't get in. And they're trying to lose weight, so they've listened to a lot of the media hype that you've got to stop the fat because fat will make you fat. So they're on a high carbohydrate diet. Remember what fat will do? It'll give you satisfaction or a satiation, a full feeling. But if you're not having any fat, you just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. The whole packet of cookies goes, the whole chips go. There's not a sign in your body that says enough. It's the fibre, protein and the good fats that will give you that sign. So they're on a high carbohydrate diet, thinking that if they go fat-free, they'll lose weight. And can you see what's happening? The water can't get in, the minerals can't get in, the glucose can't get in, and the body says, what are we going to do? Because remember, this is the CBD of the human body. What are we going to do? And the body says, we've got one last thing up our sleeve. We'll just force it into the cell. That's high blood pressure. So high blood pressure can be a result of dehydration. It can be a result of mineral deficiency, magnesium deficiency. It can be a result of vitamin D deficiency. It can be a result of a high carbohydrate, high sugar diet. It can be a result of inactivity. So there's a whole lot of things that can come together to contribute to.
Moreover, O'Neill discusses the importance of timing and method in hydration. She suggests that drinking water throughout the day, rather than consuming large quantities at once, can enhance absorption and effectiveness. This approach allows the body to utilize the water more efficiently, reducing the likelihood of frequent urination, which can be a sign that the water is not being adequately absorbed.
Did you know that in a state of chronic dehydration, too much saliva is produced? Some people think a dry mouth is a sign of dehydration. It is, and too much saliva can be a sign of dehydration. You see, when not enough water is going into the body, and how much water should go in? Let's do an assessment of that. So our kidneys, to know how much water should go in, we need to look at how much is coming out. So in our kidneys, we urinate out 1.5 litre loss. Now, a litre is the same as a quart. So I'm probably best, because I'm speaking to an American audience, to say quart loss. 1.5 quart loss. Out of the skin, it can be 0.5 of a quart loss. Out of the colon, 0.3 of a quart loss. And out of the lungs, it's about a 0.2 of a quart loss. So that equals 2.5 quart loss every day. So 2 quarts is 8 cups. So that's 10 glasses, 8 ounce glasses of water a day is lost out of the body. And we have no reserve tank on the back, do we? The only water that's going in is the water we take in. So we should be drinking at least 2 quarts a day. At least, more if possible. Now at the moment, because you're having a steam sauna every day, I wouldn't be surprised if you've got a 0.8 of a quart loss coming out of your skin because you perspire profusely. The other half can come in your fruits and your vegetables, maybe your herb teas, vegetable juice through the day. So that's how much water we need.
In addition to discussing hydration, O'Neill also addresses the role of diet in supporting proper hydration. She advocates for a diet rich in whole foods, particularly fruits and vegetables, which are naturally high in water content and essential nutrients. Foods such as cucumbers, watermelons, and leafy greens not only contribute to hydration, but also provide the necessary electrolytes that support overall health. O'Neill's perspective on hydration and health challenges conventional wisdom and encourages individuals to rethink their approach to drinking water. Her emphasis on the balance of electrolytes and the quality of water consumed is a call to action for those who may be unknowingly contributing to their health issues through inadequate hydration practices.
And Dr. Batman Gehaldi, he showed that the first place that we feel that water loss, if we're not replacing the water, the body goes into a form of drought management. And it releases a hormone to manage this drought management. It's called histamine. And if someone has an allergic response to something, what are they given? Antihistamines. You know the best antihistamine is just water. So the first place that water is taken from to try and maintain full blood volume in the veins and arteries is the lining of the stomach. We have a thick mucosa wall lining the stomach, and so now we've got a very thin mucosa wall. Now in that mucosa wall there's sodium bicarbonate, And the sodium bicarbonate is in the mucosa wall to neutralize any stomach acid that might try and get through, and basically protect against stomach ulcers. So what is a stomach ulcer? It's basically a breakdown of when we smell food and we start to chew food, hydrochloric acid, here's hydrochloric acid is released. And hydrochloric acid connects with pepsinogen to release pepsin, which breaks down protein, but hydrochloric acid does something else. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and so it has the ability to wipe out these guys.
Critics of O'Neill's methods often point the lack of scientific backing for her claims, particularly her strong stance against conventional dietary recommendations. While her ideas resonate with many who seek alternative health solutions, it is essential to approach her advice with a critical mind. The importance of hydration is well documented in scientific literature, but the specifics on how to achieve optimal hydration can vary significantly among individuals based on their unique health needs, lifestyle, and dietary habits. In conclusion, Dr. Barbara O'Neill's insights into hydration highlight a crucial aspect of health that is often overlooked. By addressing common misconceptions about water consumption and emphasizing the importance of electrolytes, she encourages individuals to take a more holistic approach to their health. While her methods may not align with mainstream medical advice, they serve as a reminder of the intricate relationship between diet, hydration, and overall well-being. As individuals navigate their health journeys, understanding the nuances of hydration and the role of natural minerals can empower them to make informed choices that support their long-term health. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more exciting content.